All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once more. Up next, we have Mr. Fernandes. He is from IRDP. Mr. Fernandes, welcome. The stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Luis Fernandes, and I'm going to be talking on behalf of the Petroleum Derivatives Regulatory Institute. My presentation is going through 5 points, and I would like to start with a brief introduction of the Petroleum Derivatives Institute, which is the regulatory body for the downstream in Angola, and the new governance model of the oil and gas sector. So the Petroleum Derivatives Regulatory Institute performs the functions of regulation, control, and inspection of all activities in the downstream sector. It also is responsible for licensing and accreditation of all the activities, also issues authorizations for import products, as well as quality control of the products and activities that are provided. Well, when we look at the petroleum derivative sector, this is the picture we have. Angola relies heavily on imports for petroleum products. If we look at refining capacity, currently we have only one refinery operating that has a processing capacity of 65,000 barrels per day. There's also a small refinery belonging to Capgog, which is a Chevron subsidiary, but most of the production is for the company use, and only about 1% of the production goes to domestic market. So we envision, as the forecast we have, to increase refining capacity. There's the Cabinda oil refinery that has been recently inaugurated, but it will come on production later in the year with a processing capacity around 30,000 barrels per day. And there will be a second phase that will happen later with another 30,000 barrels. And then there's also another refinery, the Lubito refinery, with a processing capacity of 200,000 barrels per day, and the Soyo refinery with 100,000 barrels per day processing capacity. So we are envisioning a total capacity, if all these projects are executed, of 400,039 barrels per day. When we look also at storage, we also have some issues. Currently, we have a storage capacity of 675,000 cubic meters, but there's also a new facility that has been inaugurated earlier this year that should come on operation later in 2025 with a capacity of 582,000 cubic meters as well. If we look on the side of distribution and commercialization, the picture is the same. We have only operating 919 petrol stations. We have 20 airport refueling facilities and only one lubricant factory. So, looking at these pictures, we had to define a new strategy to improve the operation of the downstream. And this strategy is based on increasing refining capacity, increasing storage capacity, and expanding the distribution channels. And if we go a little deeper, looking at each of the points of this strategy, like refining, like I was mentioning, if you look at the timeline for the next 5 years, what we have is the Luanda refinery that is operating, it should maintain at actual processing capacity because it's an old refinery that was built in the 60s. The Capgog topping plant, it should remain the same because it's to fulfill the company needs. But then we see 3 other refineries that should come online. The Cabinda oil refinery, like I mentioned, has already been inaugurated, should come in operation by the end of the year with a capacity of 30,000. In 2028, we do expect to increase for another 30,000 which engineering work has already started. But then we have the Lubito refinery also on 2028 with a capacity 200,000 barrels a day. And in 2029, if everything goes well, we have the soy refinery that put us in a position that we can fulfill the demand that is going on the country. The same timeline of the 5 years forecast that we have projected is for the storage capacity. As of now, we are talking about 1.2 million cubic meters of storage capacity. And for the next 5 years, there'll be a slight increase. We're talking about 5,000 cubic meters of storage capacity. That will be mainly based on the improvements and modernization that we are planning for existing facilities in the country. So when we look at the demand for the next 5 years, we see an increase in demand for different petroleum products. Like the liquid fuels, we see a high demand, and this is based on population growth, mobility patterns, and also in terms of the country projections, we see also an industrial activity that is increasing. So that should fuel an increase in the need of petroleum products. And like I mentioned, one of the bigger problems we have is distribution. We still see an increase in distribution facilities like petrol stations. And this is a slight increase because we still, the country still has a policy of subsidizing the petroleum products like diesel, gasoline, and LPG. But the government has decided to to initiate a reform of reducing the subsidies. And we do expect that this picture will increase or will improve as there's a total removal of the subsidies in the petroleum products. So, despite the numbers that I just displayed, there's some other constraints that we need to address and we need to discuss. And also, we see the need of considerable investment in order to overcome some of these constraints. We are talking about storage capacity that most of facilities are along the coast. So we have challenges in distributing throughout the country. We see also that part of this storage capacity will be used for strategic and security reserves as well. We also see that some of the facilities that are in the country that has been built some time ago and need to be modernized, and some need to be decommissioning. And as well, we have several areas in the country where we don't have storage capacity. On the transportation and distribution side, we also have some issues to look for. Primary and secondary transportation is basically done along the coast by ship and within the country by road. Most of the distribution facilities, I mean the petrol stations, are also along the coast, closer to the storage facilities. I showed also that we only have one lubricant factory that covers only about 20% of the market demand. And for the LPG, mostly is carried out using LPG bottles, and about 90% are imported. So we still don't have the capacity to build or construct this equipment in country. So that puts us in a situation that we identify several areas for investment. And I'm talking about storage facilities, pipelines, and there'll be many regions in the country that the distribution will be cheaper if we develop projects with pipeline for distribution. We are talking about the LPG bottles for the distribution, since we don't have much of capacity to build in country. We are talking also facilities to fill the bottles, the LPG bottles. We still don't have enough. There's many places in the country that we need those facilities. I already mentioned the distribution fuel stations throughout the country. Based on the size of the country and the demand that we've been seeing, we think that the number of 900 filling stations should double. And of course, the lubricant factories as well, that we only have one operating in the country. So these are all opportunities that we think are worth to invest in order to improve the performance of the Angola downstream sector. And in order to turn all these projects viable, the state, through its regulatory agencies, have developed a robust legal framework in order to support the main activities that we have laid up in the, I'm sorry, I was just, yeah, the activities that are part of the Angola downstream value chain. This conference has been talking much about investing in the oil sector. And if you look, most of the investment is going to upstream activities. But the real value of the upstream effort you can see in the downstream, because it's the downstream that is connected to everyday economic activities. That's why we believe that the downstream is a key element for the development of the country. And there's a few points that I like to highlight. Like, it will help to reduction of imports of petroleum importation of petroleum products. Will be also a vehicle to job creation, because the downstream is more stratified. There's several activities. There's another topic that we've been talking about during the conference, this conference, that is energy security. If we improve the development of the downstream, we can accomplish that. And also, because of the position that Angola has in Africa, we think this is an opportunity also to export some of the products to neighboring countries. And I guess this is what I have for the time that I was given to show you about the downstream sector. I'm still going to be for the remainder of the week, so please come and talk to us. There's our contacts, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fernandes. Do we have any questions for him?
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. My name is Augustine Kuba. I'm the Managing Director for Sona Idrak, which is the DRC National Oil Company. I have a couple of questions. The first one is, what is the cost of the 200,000 barrel a day refinery which you're building in, is it in Lobito or Benguela? Yeah, what is the cost of that refinery, please?
Which one? The one that has been built in Cabinda?
No, not in Cabinda, down.
In Lobito.
200,000 barrel a day.
Well, I don't have the exact cost, but we are talking about a figure of $6 billion. This is what is being discussed. This refinery belongs to Sonangol. Sonangol, actually, they have a presentation somewhere. They're going to talk about details about this project. And Sonangol is eager to have partnership in building that refinery. The engineer work and some of the civil work has already started in Lobito. but Sonangol is still looking for a partnership on those and the construction of and operation of the refinery.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is that I understand that you'll be able to export finished products in the neighboring countries, I think including the DRC, I hope. What is the current Angola demand in products, in finished products, diesel and gasoline?
If you look at this graph right here, I don't know if you're the furthermost on your right, I mean in your left, this is the demand that for liquid products that we have projected. The actual in 2025 is 5.2 million tons of products, and we are projecting by 2030 6.7. So that's the correct demand. Yeah.
Thank you so much.